Okay, new game. Clear the save. Go to slot one. New game. Graphics on high. Lower the background music pretty much all the way. Close the tutorial. You can get back there by clicking tutorial. A lot of this text is super work in progress or old, but feel free to look at it. So you start in the game here, and this is your town, and the purpose is to upgrade the town to improve your character and open up new perks and abilities and features. So over here, got some signage, says that the mage quarters, and then there's a tutorial that pops up as you walk around, teaching you how to loot stuff. These need to be cleaned up, but either way, run in here. This teaches you about setting abilities on your hotkey bar, but we just looted 20 bucks. So if you look in the top right here, you can see $20, 20 platinum. Open up the spell book here on the table. This is where you would upgrade your mage tower, and also can buy your starting spells, and then as you upgrade it, you can get more and more ranks, more spells, and then as you upgrade it, this is kind of one of the perks associated with the building, is that you get this mage signet, which is something that you could wear, and this kind of goes up in value and stats as you upgrade the building. And to upgrade the building, you need to get stone and crystal for this particular building. So we'll go and find those resources on the map. In the meantime, we could just go ahead and you'll see that some of the spells here, we have weapon attack. It's already on our bar. You could read what it does here. You could toggle this so that you could do some comparison between different spells. And then if you hover on your toolbar, right now it's just got the tooltip for the full description. Also need to update descriptions, but generally most of the information there's mostly right. So we'll just go ahead and grab, let's see, this binding coil here is a snare, and it's soul based. You could tell by the color of the border as well as the description. And we also have life tap here, which is decay based, and you could read the descriptions there. So we'll buy that one as well, and you'll see we're out of money now. So let's go back out here, and now that we have our spells, we could open up our spell book, and we could put them anywhere we want. We could, even relocate our weapon attack, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave that on 1. And then 2 can be this binding coil, and 3 could be life tap. And right now you have 4 spell slots and a couple for your pet, but we don't have the pet at the moment. If you open up the spell book, you could also look at some of these innate skills and talents. Right now you just have 1 talent, which we could adjust at the mastery trainer over here, which we'll go do in a second. This one is giving me a perk to elemental damage. If we go back to innate, you'll see there's a lot in here. Eventually these will be released at like different parts in the game rather than just having everything all at once, but right now it's just everything all at once. So you've got some acrobatic type abilities, weapon combos, parrying, dropping your bag. So these will all have to be explained at some point, but just know that they're in there if you want to go read them. And some of them are right here on your toolbar as well. You could see if you hover over some of these, they'll give you an idea as to how to perform them. So like dodge, for example, is just shift and A or D. Backflip is backwards and shift, with shift generally being the sprint key. So, if you just hold shift, you run faster. But shift and back, shift and left, shift and right, get the idea. So if I go over to this mastery trainer, this building is still kind of placeholder along with most of the stuff. But if you go here, you'll see that just like the mage trainer, you've got upgrades. So, if we were to upgrade this building, we would by default get this mastery charm, which would give us raw stats and all the mastery trees. And when you upgrade it, you'll get stronger and stronger versions of this charm. And this building require stone and gold. Um, and then also each time you upgrade this particular building, you'll unlock another rank of talents here. So this is kind of a, you choose one from each rank type talent tree. And right now we have this rank 0, and this will just give us a perk in whatever tree we want. So if we're gonna, right now we have soul and decay on our bar, we might as well just, go ahead and take some mastery and soul, which will give us a extra damage and mitigation against soul. Or what did I click? I clicked decay. Extra mitigation against decay. And if you go into your inventory here or hit I, you can see all of your stats listed out, and you'll see that decay is 30, and with the rest of them being 25 at the moment. We've got no gear equipped, no loot in our bag, and no pet at the moment. So if we were to just go ahead and start adventuring right now, we could probably do some damage. Tutorial on how to fight will eventually be here at some point. Reminder that you have access to the tutorials at any time by clicking here. Oh, and you can see some stuff's going on out here already. Looks like this here Stone Fang is trying to break into town, and he is now fighting this guy here. So I think I'll stand back and just let them fight each other, see who wins. Looks like it's going to be the Stone Fang. Let me give him a hand. Alright, so that guy's dead, and now really angry at me. I could life tap to get some health back. So he just buffed his magical output by 150%, so I should probably try to snare him and run away because he's hitting really hard at the moment. And I could kite him and get some of my health back. And looks like he's fleeing, which is good. And then if I hit him from behind, I can get special back stab damage. Or I can go ahead and use my spells. But you'll see here actually that these 4 bars here represent the potential damage output for each of my potential trees. So you'll see that the blue bar is very small. So when I hit him with this blue spell, well, that one missed. That's just random chance. But if I try it again, you'll see it says weak. It only did 15 damage, and it is actually supposed to do quite a bit more. But the yellow bar is really big, so I'm going to go ahead and hit him with a decayed spell, and you'll see that it said mighty. It did more than the anticipated damage. So if you go look at the spells, for example, this one was supposed to do 60 and it did like 15. This one was supposed to do 80 and it did 90. So this guy is now trying to kill me, so I'm going to run away. And it looks like over here, this shows me my encounter. So I now have 2 dudes. I can try to fight them, but I don't think this is going to end well for me. So let me try and life tap to get some health back. And then maybe I can snare this one dude and get some distance. And now I'm just fighting the one guy, so I'm going to hit him and run away. Uh-oh, that's not good. Backflip out of this range here. And try to keep this guy snared. Maybe do a drive-by. Okay, so that guy's fleeing. This guy's snare has a few more seconds here. So I'm going to re-snare him and then kind of just life tap him. Oh, he hit me pretty hard there. Get my health back. And it looks like, unfortunately, when this guy ran away, he aggroed another enemy. So, oh, look at that. He was about to heal him, but I got the kill off first. So that was good. He's about to shoot a comet at me, which I'm going to dodge. And I think now is an appropriate time to run away. And this town is safe. So the enemies will basically retreat when you enter the town and go back to, somewhere. So when we're in town here, you'll see I only managed to pick up like two extra bucks, but I might as well pick up some stuff while I'm here. These yellow glowing items are stuff that you could loot. So this one happens to be a medicine. This removes different diseases and poisons that you'll get at some point in the game. These are the resources here that I was referring to, which you'll actually find out on the map as you explore, but there's just some sitting in town here to show you how it works. So you'll see they go on your back as a backpack. And while you're wearing them, you'll see here that there's a buff or debuff, depending on how you look at it. The more resources you pick up, the more of a endurance uh, modifier you get. So it's like -2 endurance because you're carrying these resources, but you actually get plus mastery. So kind of a trade-off. Your endurance is this green bar, and it determines how much you could use acrobatic type abilities or melee attack type stuff. So you'll see right now I only have 4, and I'm trying to attack, and it says I can't do it. I don't have enough stamina. If you look at the weapon, it says it takes 5 endurance, and you'll note that since I'm carrying this backpack, I'm losing 2 endurance. So, you have this ability here called drop your bag, and you can do this whenever you want, in combat, out of combat, doesn't matter. You'll see it just goes ahead and drops your bag on the floor. You get your endurance back. Now you have enough endurance to use your attack if you choose, and you also have enough endurance to do, your acrobatic type abilities again, dodge and stuff like that. And if you're curious about that, you could look in the innate skills here and you'll see like, air dash costs 3 endurance and dodge costs 2 endurance and backflip also costs 2 endurance. So, all those abilities will be listed here. And eventually they will be discovered with like tutorials and quests and stuff. But right now it's all just available anytime. So this bag will eventually decay. You'll see here on your little calendar the time of the day and when your bag will decay. So, if you run around long enough and can't get back to your bag, eventually when this sun here passes, it will decay. So right now it's going to be at 0.9 o'clock, 90% of the day, whatever that is. So I can go ahead and pick that back up. And you'll see that now I lost the endurance, but I gained the mastery. So, we've got 26, 31, 26 mastery. So the goal with this bag is to eventually bring it back to the vault, which, you'll see here, this is the vault. If you talk to this guy, he's got some quests for you. And then this here is the vault. And the primary purpose of this is to deposit these resources. So once you deposit them, they end up in the vault and they are spendable, for upgrading buildings and such. So, if you were to die, you drop them on the floor and you just have to go back and get them before they expire, if you can. So over here, let's see, what the heck is this? This is, you'll see here in the chat log that I looted a town gate fragment. So this just allows you to teleport back home. It's consumable and cannot be used while you're holding resources. So just a quick way back to town. This is like the teleport shrine. So right now you don't have any connecting locations. If you were to open up your map, you'll see that there's nothing exposed at the moment, just some clouds and some dots. And the goal here is that you'll find, watchtowers, and by uncovering watchtowers, you could uncover portions of the map. And then on the map, there'll be different teleport places that you could connect to and uncover for fast travel. This right here is an artifact. This is another thing that you'll carry on your back and return back to town. Has the same pros and cons as carrying the resources, meaning you'll lose endurance and gain mastery. And the goal, again, just bring them back to town, to drop them off, and then they become spendable. The artifacts are used by this guy over here, which is just a temporary location, but basically he will convert your artifacts into stat improvements. But where I was going is I'm just going to sprint over here, and you can tell that the time of day is changing. It's kind of getting darker, more overcast here. So I'm going to go over to the inn, which there's a bunch of information about here. And you'll see here this guy's got some quests, and then the inn is where you do your resting. So you can go ahead and rest for 3 hours, I believe. And by doing that, it'll give you a buff that lasts a full day or until you die. And that buff increases your mastery and endurance, effectively making you a lot stronger. So this is kind of like a death penalty here. While you have this buff, you're basically full strength. You got all this extra endurance, you got all this extra mastery. If you die, you're going to lose all those perks, Doesn't mean that you can't keep fighting, but you are at a disadvantage, especially if you were maybe out in the wilderness. There are different graveyards that you could respawn at other than town. So, that's your decision if you're out adventuring and you don't want to return the town to get this rested buff. Also, if you were to go into dungeons and such, you would not be able to recover that rested buff after you die. So I just looted some bean soup. This is food. This helps increase your out of combat health and mana regen. So you'll notice, like, when we're fighting after combat, the health regen is quick, but not super quick. This here, and there are different tiers of food that will help with that regeneration. So this lasts 24 hours or until death. There are ways to get better food, and there are ways to get better rested. So this guy here has got some quests to give you better rested buffs. So right now, the better buffs last more than 1 day and more than 1 death. So let's go back to fighting, I think. We got to go and collect enough resources, or not resources, quest items, which are these spider eggs, to get a spider. So that's our pet, and he will help us a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the spider egg. And this guy here's got a quest eventually for 2 spider eggs. So we're going to go ahead and go find another one. It's actually becoming nighttime now, so the sky is kind of redder, and there are skeletons and stuff that come in the dark. So you'll notice the guy that we fought earlier is still dead. He was defending this here resource. So I can go ahead and pick that up. And I see that there's a spider egg over here. So, and this dude that wants to kill me. So let's fight him. And the combat also has some melee combos here. You'll see each time I do an attack, I'm building this combo meter. And if I do the 3rd attack here, you'll see it'll consume that, and it actually debuffed him here with a minus chance to miss. Oh, shit's popping off here. So that's funny. I got trapped by this here skeleton at the same time that the Knoll man was just making his rounds. So this is not good for me, but it looks, well, actually this is pretty great. We're both killing the skeleton, which is fantastic. So let me see if I can go ahead and get him killed while this Knoll helps me do it. And I keep missing, so that's not great. Alright, so skeleton's down, but now this Knoll seems to be a problem, so let me see if I can get my life tap off. Hit him in the face. He got the debuff that causes him to miss more often, which didn't help me that time, unfortunately. So now he casts that Fury spell again, and he's charging me, which is not good for me. Try to run away since he is snared right now. Just running. Get a life tap off, hopefully, here in a second. Get some health back. And now he's fleeing, which is great. And I keep using Binding Coil, which is stupid because he's super resistant to soul-based damage. You'll see the bar is very small. If I had Elemental, I would use that. That's this purple. Physical is pretty good. That's the white bar. So I'm going to go ahead and just go and hit him in the back here. You'll see it does pretty good damage. Of course, I don't have a ton of stamina because I'm carrying 5 stone at the moment. So that's affecting my ability to attack. So I could theoretically drop my bag here. Get a whole bunch of... Oh, now he's running away. Snare ran off. So let me just kill him. Loot his stuff. And it's pretty dark over here. So I'm going to go ahead and retreat over here. Grab my bag back. And over... Oh, I just got ambushed again by the skeletons, which come out at night. And this guy is weak to soul, so I can go ahead and hit him with that, and it's pretty effective. And I'm going to run away and kite him for a bit just to get some damage in, and then hit him in the face because he is pretty weak to physical as well. So in combat here, I can go ahead and drop my bag. And that'll give me more stamina to punch him in the face. And I used actually a heavy attack there, so it stunned him. So technically there's no information about this in the game, but if you just hit attack, you'll see you do this quick attack. If you hold shift, which is the sprint key, and hit attack, you'll do a charged up attack, and you'll see it hits quite a bit harder. All right, so, but there's trade-offs. It doesn't fill your combo meter. So let's go ahead and get our bag back here and go into town and drop this off at the vault bank. And we're going to go ahead and deposit those resources. And then let's see. Okay, so the goal was to go ahead and get our spider. So if I go to my inventory here, you'll see I only have 1 spider egg. We need 2. So I happen to know. Okay, so now it's daytime. When days happen, certain enemies of different factions will respawn. So you can see over there on the beach, there's this faction called the Seskar Scales. They respawn on different days than the humans do, depending on, you know, what human you're talking about. But so these guys have not respawned yet. So even though the day happened, we're still clear, no enemies around. But I do see that there's a spider egg over here. So I'll go grab that. And you'll see these enemies over here, completely different faction. These are kind of lizard insect type people, and they happen to be quite a bit higher level. So this guy's level 3, this guy's level 5, and we haven't actually taken on anything higher than a level 1 at the moment, so maybe not worth giving these guys a shot yet, but you could always give it a try. So now that we have our spider eggs that we were looking for, we could probably go complete that quest, but I guess while I'm out here, let me just be efficient and grab this artifact, put it on my back, and then you'll see that there's this level 2 guy defending some wood, and that was helpful that the guy pathed away, so we'll go ahead and just go grab this dude and hit him in the face, and he's level 2, so he's going to have a bit more health, he's going to hit a little bit harder, but, you know, if it's just me versus him, I'm pretty confident we shouldn't have a problem taking him out. Just not letting him hit us at the moment, doing some damage, and then when he gets nice and close here, we can go ahead and hit him in the face, trade blows, and you'll see now that the combo meter's full. I could either do another quick attack, or I could do my heavy attack. So I'm going to go ahead and do a heavy attack, because that one comes with a knockback and a stun, which was pretty nice, and now he's fleeing, and I could hit him in the back and do extra damage as well. So we're just going to finish him off. Oh, well, we thought we were going to finish him off. All right, uh-oh. So let me go ahead and finish him off, and looks like we're about to get blinded. That was not good, so I'm going to go ahead and hit that life tap and stop trying to die from this ranger here. So I got to try and dodge these attacks, which is possible with the shift into the left key. And if I run up and hit this ranger dude, oh, well, he's low health, so he's healing, which is not good for me, but I'm going to try to hit him in the face, and he's going to blind me again, which is not great. And I think now he's throwing an axe at me, which I can dodge out of the way of. I'm going to life tap him and try to hit him in the face. Try to kill him. Hit him in the back while he runs away. Oh, and of course I missed. And he's healing again, so this is kind of a hard enemy to fight because I don't have any way to conveniently interrupt his casting. And of course I don't have my pet yet, so keeping on the hits while I'm blinded or rooted is challenging. Alright, this is not going well. Looks like we're gonna eventually wear him down. As long as he doesn't... Oh, he's fleeing now, so that's good. Alright, I'm gonna hit him with that that heavy attack here. There we go. Alright, so that was a struggle bust because we couldn't interrupt him. We weren't really able to out-damage his healing easily. And then we just kept getting rooted over and over again and blinded. So now that I have some resources on me... Oh wait, I forgot to pick up the wood. My bad. Let me just sprint back here and get that wood because these guys will respawn in a couple days. So we want to make sure we take our prize. And it looks like I could just sneak over here and grab this too. Maybe this guy will see me if I am not careful. But let me go ahead and snatch those things up and bring them back to town. And then I could upgrade or turn in the quest to get my pet, which will make a big power improvement for my character. So we'll go over here, deposit these resources. Oh, and now that we're kind of on the way to collecting some resources, you'll see we have like 6 wood, 5 stone, 1 gold, no crystal. You have a, obviously you could run over to each one of these buildings and see that this one takes wood and gold. So, we've got enough wood, but not enough gold. Also, you could use this town user interface here, which will just go ahead and show you all the upgrades available. So the 4 buildings that can be upgraded are listed here with any of the requirements. So, for example, this one requires a quest and a couple of stone and crystal, and this one is wood and stone, or wood and gold. And we don't have enough yet to upgrade a building, but we're getting close. So I think what we'll do now is get our pet. So over here at the pet trainer, this is also where you would upgrade the pet building. So I can go ahead and turn in this quest here, which will grant me my pet ability, and some information about your pets will pop up, and you'll see you've got a new user interface button here to summon your pet. And actually there's another quest turn in that we could do here, which just grants our pet his first ability, which happens to be taunt. And you'll see some other quests here that require spider eggs, so we can go out and keep finding spider eggs. So more information about the pet, we'll go ahead and summon him. And eventually, if we get enough resources, we could choose to turn them in here to upgrade our pet, and this will give us improved pets, and then it'll also unlock additional spells and abilities for the pet as we upgrade the building. So now that we've got our little pet boy here, he comes with his own little user interface. Really, you could choose to attack, have him follow. So like here, if I click on an enemy and hit attack, he'll get in there and start fighting. If you want him to stop fighting, you can click this. You'd use the hotkeys, which happen to be R and X. Eventually, he gets an AoE ability, which just means that his default attack will attack everybody instead of a single target. And then he will actually get a whole bunch of spells that he could cast. So like right now, he's just got Taunt. But you'll have a lot of different abilities, and you can unlock additional spell slots as well, same as the character. So right now he just has Taunt, and it's set to auto cast. That's this checkbox here. And he's got his own mana and own resources that you'll see in this bar. So right now we've got 8 platinum. Probably also not enough to buy a spell, but here, I think if we go and kill, say, 1 or 2 more enemies, we should have enough money to buy another spell. So let's take out this mage, who happens to be defending some wood. So we'll send in our pet, and I'll just let you see what the pet can do. So right now he taunted it, and his default ability happens to be a life tap. So if you go to your inventory here, you can see your pet stats, and the pet's default ability is a life tap as well as a melee, which happens to be physical damage. So you'll see that this guy is really not susceptible to physical damage. So he's kind of beating the crap out of the pet. So let me go ahead and jump in there and lend a hand. So the same damage types that I have are applicable to the pet as well. So like if you click on your pet, you'll see here that he's got pretty average masteries across the board with a little bit extra in decay at the moment. And then the way that he fights, he's got his standard attack is physical. So he's going to do physical damage with his auto attacks, and then his life tap will do decay damage. So, something's going down over here. So these guys hate each other. This Stone Fang guy just every day keeps trying to make his way over to the base there and killing everything on the way over. So you'll see that this guy is part of a different faction, the Split Hide tribe, and this guy is the Stone Bound. So these two factions happen to hate each other. That's not the case for all factions, but they hate each other. So let me go ahead and grab the wood here. And I think the goal was to make a little bit of cash so that we could buy a new spell and fill out our spell bar here. So let's go ahead and take this guy out. Happens to be level 1, should be pretty easy. So this Stone Fang guy is causing havoc over there. So we'll steal this spider egg, and let's see if we could, you know, snipe a kill here. That's a level 2. So which one do we want to take out first? I guess we'll help him take out the level 2 because he seems to be kicking its butt. And then, you know, maybe we could jump in and finish him off too. Just take advantage of these dudes. So we need like an elemental type damage spell would be helpful because this guy is not weak to soul. So we'll grab this item here since the knoll kind of cleared all the area for us. And this was a mastery scroll, which is something that we could turn in for a quest to improve our mastery once we uncover the shrines. And since the guy killed one of these enemies for us, this camp now only has one dude in it, so it's probably worth it to, you know, take him out too, because it's a lot easier now that that Stonefang guy killed one of the enemies here for us. So since I'm carrying so many resources, a bunch of wood and artifacts, my stamina or endurance is heavily impacted. So I only have 5 at the moment, so it's difficult for me to use my melee attack at the moment. I could drop the bag on the floor, but I'm about to go and pick up some more stuff, so not a lot of point right now. So you can see my bag's getting really big. And I spy a little fish over here that I'm going to go and harvest. And I got lucky and I grabbed 3. Oh, so the water will eventually kill you. You know, there's not a whole lot to be found in the water, but you do drown, and then when you get out of the water, while you're wet here, your casting is disabled, so just be aware you can't go swimming and expect to pop out ready to fight. There's a little bit of time involved in the drying off period. So let's see, I've got 15 platinum and a bunch of resources now. Let's go ahead and go drop off this big backpack that I'm wearing. And we'll drop that off. And looks like there's a bug here. I'm not supposed to be wet anymore, considering that I am no longer in the water. So, hooray for bugs, which I'm going to have to, you know, basically exit the game and come back into the game to get that to clear off, because otherwise I won't be able to cast any magic. Or maybe I could just go run into the water again. Let's try that. Let's see. What happens if I just jump into the water? Alright. Let's see. Alright, let's see what happens if I jump out of the water now. Well, it's working! Okay. So, we resolved that inconvenience by getting back in the water and getting back out of the water again. So now that we have some resources, let me just check my town UI here. And you'll see that we are basically able to upgrade our pet. We just need to complete this quest. So if you run over to the trainer there, he'll give you an idea as to what the requirements are for this quest, but it's probably more spider eggs. Alternatively, if we find some extra gold, we could upgrade our vault here. So let me go into here and see about buying a new spell. So I've got 15 bucks. I think it's a great idea to grab Comet because it's elemental, and that will help us when we're fighting enemies that are strong against soul. So we can go ahead and open up our spell book and add Comet to the bar. And the way Comet works is it is not castable if the enemy is right in your face. You have to be a minimum distance away to cast this. It's a projectile. So positioning in combat is important. So let's see if we can go and fight something with this new spell too. And once again, it's nighttime, so it gets pretty dark. And we're going to go ahead and go over here. Let's see, what can we find? So there's this dude here, which is a level 1, and he's weak to elemental. So we'll just go ahead and use him. Oh, he hit me in the face. It's wonderful. So I'll just shoot my fireball at him. Hit him with the life tap, get some health back. And he's going to try to heal. Hopefully we could overpower his healing. Since we are... Uh-oh. with not going well. We ended up aggroing that other mage there. So we're just going to keep trying to burn this guy down. Never mind. Didn't work. So we're dead. So we can just go ahead and recover our body at town. So you'll see we just appear here. And this is a good opportunity to rest, which will advance the time, get us closer to morning, and as well as give us our buff here. So that is all for today. Thank you. Bye-bye.